Hey everyone, you're watching episode 80 of Yield TV. All right, we're halfway through the week. It's Wednesday, February 24th, 2021, and today we are going to interview Zach Burks, who is the founder of Mintable. Mintable is an all-in-one platform for minting, trading, and selling NFTs. They've got a killer value prop right now where you can mint NFTs for free. So we're going to explore all of that. Also worth noting that over 21,000 NFTs have been minted in just the last 3 weeks on Mintable. So on that note, Zach, welcome to Yield TV. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Hey, thanks for having me on.
Awesome. We're going to pretend like you and I didn't talk for the last 15 to 20 minutes like schoolgirls. So really excited to show off Mintable today. I think that folks will find it very user-friendly. I've used it myself, so I can attest to that. And I can't get past the fact that I think a lot of people don't realize that they can mint for free on Mintable. So I'm going to just keep repeating that over and over again today. This doesn't cost you anything to test out and play with. So, this is one of the few applications in DeFi and NFTs that you can actually play with for free. So anyways, Zach, why don't we start with your background, as a founder? How did you get into the crypto, DeFi, NFT space? And when did you start building Mintable?
Yeah, it's a long story. I found Bitcoin a long time ago now, like 8 years, 2012, wow. 2013. So yeah, it's been a while. Obviously, just like everyone else when you found it, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what Bitcoin was. I was just dabbling with it. But over the years, I would come back to it, check it, start getting involved. Around 2014, I got really involved. And then I found Ethereum, like 2015, 2016-ish, like late 2015. Converted all my Bitcoin over in like 2016, I'm pretty sure. And I've never looked back in terms of Bitcoin. I've got, Ethereum is my main focus. I went and became a smart contract developer later that year in 2016, and I've been doing that ever since. So just different projects throughout the Ethereum ecosystem. When NFTs came out, though, in 2017, that caught my eye. I saw CryptoPunks when they came out. I didn't get any. They were already they were free basically, so anyone just could claim them.
Yeah.
But I found CryptoKitties before they were live. I was at the hackathon that they were at, the ETH Waterloo hackathon, and I actually was playing it when they were releasing the beta, and I was the first person to make money with their beta. Right, I won their first 2 prizes. So I like to say I was the first person to ever make money with CryptoKitties. Right, it's a weird flex. You have to be in the NFT
really
space
cool.
to appreciate that. Yeah.
Go back to that. So at the time you clearly thought it was cool, but do you remember trying to explain it to others? Because I joined the crypto space in 2017, and I remember trying to explain CryptoKitties to my friends and family, and they were just like, what the hell is going on? You had us at the Bitcoin, Ethereum sort of thing, but now what is this? These are like Tamagotchis on the blockchain.
I don't think I ever explained it to anyone when it was in 2017. I think it was just, when I saw it, I remember thinking what is this, a game on Ethereum? We don't have that. So I was like, I'll play it, right? And I treated it almost like those Flash games that you used to have back in the day, where you just go to some random website, play some random stupid game. So I never, I don't think I ever talked about it. I maybe I might have mentioned I just got some free ETH from it, but I didn't really try to convince anyone. My family, I learned pretty quickly that my family didn't give two shits about crypto, right? I told them for years, and they just ignore me basically. I'm that guy in the corner that's yeah, but what about Ethereum? I don't remember telling anyone about it, but it was cool. The beta was, I played a lot in the beta. And then when the actual product came out, I played it for a week maybe, but then the bots like killed it for me, and so I just stopped playing it.
No.
I still have some of those cats, but they're worthless. So
Very cool. So fast forward past that, then when did you start to build Mintable? Sometime in 2018?
yeah, 2018. I was going through a program with Consensus, and I needed a project to finish my certification with Consensus, and so I just made this like token. Everything I did after I found NFTs was all every smart contract was NFTs. Like I was working on like a Sapphire tracking application using NFTs for like rare gemstones and stuff. I was CTO of another company using NFTs for food traceability, so I just made an NFT generator, basically a way for anyone to make their NFT. And then I realized like, hey, if you're using my tool, you're probably not going to know how to transfer it either. So I'll make a manager, right? And at the time, I was Googling around trying to find like other NFT managers or token creators, and there were none. So there was like, I was like, I can't find any on the internet. My Ether wallet, my crypto didn't exist, I don't think. But my Ether wallet didn't support 721, so you couldn't transfer it. MetaMask obviously didn't. They still don't, except for their mobile wallet. But so I was like, damn, is this the first manager and creator for NFTs on the internet? And I think it was. So that's when I kind of realized like, hey, this could be a really good business opportunity. And after the program was done, I moved to Thailand from California, and I moved to Thailand, and I said I'm just going to work on Mintable and launch it in in a few months, and polish it up, and we launched in December of 2018. That was the alpha version. We launched the beta in April of 2019. And then pretty much 2019 and 2020, we were working on the version that's up now. It's the full, we call it the full launch, but it's everything that we planned to do since the beginning was a marketplace. And so we launched that, the version 2, the full launch, in December of last year. So exactly, 2 years after we launched our alpha, the full product went out, and it's been almost 3 months now. And it's been going really good.
Zach, can you talk about you launched in December 2018, so quite a time to be launching. I think that was the lowest point in the bear market. Can you talk about the different inflection points along the journey up until the last 3 months here, where you've seen this crazy explosion of NFTs being minted? Just curious for those that are also building, in this space, and kind of giving them the reality check that this hasn't been like an overnight success. Like, you've been at this for some time.
Yeah, I think it's hard. If this would have been any other, I've done other, I've had other businesses. I own another business right now, actually, besides Mintable as well. And if this had been any other business besides NFTs, I probably would have given up. But for some reason, I just really like NFTs. And I was talking to my buddy, who I'm really good friends with from high school, and he, I was talking to him about Mintable and some of my ups and downs, and he was saying that one thing he knows about me is that I'm almost, when I make a prediction, I'm almost always right, but my time frames are way off. So I predicted NFTs in 2018, right? And he's like, yeah, man, but you were 2 years off, right? But you're just always early. And when I told him about Ethereum, this was, it was $10, and it's the same thing. And so that kind of, it was a nice talk with my buddy. But that kind of made me realize that maybe I just have always seen NFTs as being really powerful. And, I have. I think NFTs are very versatile in what they can do. They can be applied to so many different things. It doesn't have to be game items, doesn't have to be artwork. And I think that NFTs essentially are going to be, a household name that you're going to be interacting with, just like you would a VCR or DVD or MP3 or USB, right? You have these abbreviations that are just everyday common vernacular that we use, and we understand this in our life. And NFTs are just going to be another one of those. And so positioning, ourselves to be perfectly positioned in that space, and the growth of that is, it's been awesome to be able to do that and achieve that.
Yeah. Well said. I think we won't realize all that is powered by NFTs in the very near future. We're actually already getting to some of those moments. I mean, NBA Top Shot is pretty nuts, the traction that they've seen. Like, I think they sold more in a single day than they had sold in CryptoKitties or something over the last 3 years. So that's cool. You know, you have NBA players that are buying these. You have fans that are buying
I
these,
saw that.
and they're just buying them. You know, they're not like, hey, so like I believe in a decentralized future where creators are empowered. They're just like, that's really cool shit. I want some of that, and happens to be powered by it. So I don't want to talk too much ivory tower about NFTs before we can actually like show off Mintable. Would you be comfortable if we start to share screens and then we can kind of talk through it, and then this will lead us into, again, how someone could start minting NFTs for free. All right, here we go.
Yeah. So this is Mintable, right? So Mintable, we're a marketplace, but we're also a tool for you to create NFTs. And so one of the really powerful things with NFTs is, opposed to DeFi, you can earn, some awesome yields, some nice interest rates, right? But you have to have an upfront investment where you need to have $50,000, $100,000, $5 million that you're putting into a pool or doing something with that you're getting money from. With NFTs, it's like a really unique way for you to actually earn crypto, and a lot of crypto, effectively for nothing, right? There's no upfront costs with Mintable. With other platforms, you have to pay to mint, and it costs hundreds of dollars, to get out some tokens. But with us, it's free. And so we have, over the last month, we've seen so many users that have just downloaded MetaMask. They've never bought, they've never bought ETH. They don't have an account at Coinbase or Binance or anything like that. But they're making NFTs. And if those NFTs sell, which a lot of them have, their wallet is just populating with ETH, right? So they've never, ever had to sign up with an exchange to start getting ETH. I think that's just powerful, man. I wish this was, around back when ETH was so much cheaper. I could have accumulated so much ETH by doing it. But it's a really powerful tool. And so on Mintable, we have a ton of different assets that you can browse and purchase and stuff. And I think the most popular thing is artwork right now, right? We see a lot of artwork coming out because a lot of people are creative, so they can make different things, whether it's a podcast like this, or whether it's an actual digital print like this one over here, or maybe it's music and soundtracks, right? A lot of the creative things are being uploaded, and the collectible aspect is being applied to these in unique ways. And this is where NFTs, a lot of people kind of get confused on NFTs is their potential, but it really takes a little bit of understanding about the core principles of an NFT to really start realizing, wow, I can buy this one. I don't know what the price is on this, so I like it though. It's just like a cool print, right? Look at the price on this. Oh my God, 0.01 ETH. What is 0.01 ETH times that by what price is $1,600? It's like $16. So for this NFT, you think, okay, $16 for an image, right? But it's so much more than that. Is I can buy this for $16 and then I can resell it. This creator, he actually makes some really cool stuff. I like a lot of his stuff, and I think that a lot of his artwork is going to go for a lot more down the road. And so,
Wow.
you could look at it as an investment, or I just look at it as kind of like when you go to a yard sale, right? You go to a yard sale, you can buy something that's cheaper than what it should be valued at. And so that's how I look at some of these NFTs that are really cheap. Is I'm like, hey, this, I think I like Brutal 3 a lot. They had Brutal 2 and 1, but they sold. And I think if I was going to look at the cheapest, this is the cheapest, or this one, but I like this one more, right? And so that's how I would go through and select which one of these I want to buy. And then I would resell it, right? And I'm actually doing that on a few NFTs that I purchased for really cheap. I've immediately just listed them for sale for, I bought them for $1, I'll sell them for $100, right? And it doesn't cost me anything to do that, to sell them. I have to pay to buy them, but so it's pretty cool.
I didn't realize that, Zach. So wait, you can sell and buy for zero gas as well, other than of course the like you said, the cost here. I mean, you're buying it for a certain value, but I didn't realize that because I thought it was just the minting that was gasless. Is it also?
No, you're right. No, so it is just the
Okay.
maintenance gasless. I've been thinking about that for like at least a month and a half now of how we can do gasless purchases, but you really can't because the whole key principle here is the atomic swap, like the decentralized, no middleman. It's a smart contract, right? And that all requires some sort of interaction.
Right.
Yeah, so it's really not.
There is something in the future. It's a little bit harder here because like if you want something, if you're going to buy it, when I buy a piece of crypto art, like you go from maybe I'll get this to something like flips in your brain and you're like, I want it. And then you're in a rush to get it before someone else. But if you could, if you could batch those transactions, like we've talked at Zapper about there's those that want to get into a yield farm and they're going to pay however much gas to get into it. But what if we offered an option where we batched everything, like let's say every like 8 to 24 hours and give them that option. So it's tougher here because you're actually competing, or bidding, like you want to get that piece of art here as quickly as possible. But regardless of that, the gasless minting alone, like if anyone's just joining, you can mint NFTs without paying any gas, which is that's the insanity here.
It is. And I don't know if you can see this NFT right here. I mean,
yeah, that's really cool. I was going to say, click on that one.
Yeah, I've been watching it. It's like a perfect seamless loop. And oh my God, there's music. That's so loud. It's like anime music. But like this is, it's basic. I can't refuse. It's basically like nothing, it's like, in fact, I'll just bump it up. And I'm going to have to pay gas on this. And so when I look at this, I think, I've been looking at this for at least like 6 loops now. And I see it for 6 loops. And if it's caught my eye for 6 loops and there's something to it, right, maybe I should buy it. And then I see this price and it's so cheap, like, yeah, I got to buy it, right? And so I place the bid and I'll pay the gas fee. And, I'll be able to resell it or I'll be able to collect it. I like it. It doesn't really matter if I can resell it or not. It's pretty cool. And the cool thing with Mintable is something we offer that you won't get anywhere else is I can get a physical copy of this. So this loop that I've been staring at, which, I mean, even though like the graphics aren't that good, it's just something about this loop that is like, I'm still looking at this little tiny preview image of it. I could get this infinite object that's mailed to my house, right? I can't get it here because I'm in Singapore, but they mail it to America, Canada, Mexico. But I could just add this on, right? I can throw in my shipping details, and then it just comes into my transaction, and that'll get mailed to your door, and you can display this in a seamless loop, in your house, which is really cool. And you can't get that anywhere else on any other marketplace. And so, we try to provide different, unique things like that.
Zach, that option you just pointed out, is that like an iPad and some like plexiglass, something like that?
Kind of. So it's not like actually an iPad, but it's an artistic product, right? So it's been designed. It's really nice. It's high quality, and it is a tablet that is preloaded with your video, and you cannot change it. You can't edit it. You can't. There's no music. All it does is just plays it 24/7 on a loop. So if you don't want to play it, you just unplug it, right? But this is perfect for crypto art because, if I got a TV right here, I can put up all my NFTs on my TV, but it doesn't have the same feeling of an NFT because it's mutable. I can change it. I can edit it. I can turn it off. Like, I'll watch the actual TV on it. This would go on my shelf and it's always there, always on. And it's just like a picture frame. A picture frame is always there, always on. So this is great for NFTs art.
That's really cool. I mean, I think of that too as a gift. We all tend to talk about NFTs normally in the context of like, I'm collecting this. I think this is cool, me. But really, there's opportunity here for really awesome gifts. And I gotta say, like, I haven't acted on this as much either. Like, I keep thinking like this would make for a great gift. I just have to find that. Oh, this is cool. What is this? The underdog has spoken.
So this is Mark Cuban's NFT that he made a few
Oh,
days ago.
cool. Oh no.
And yeah, the reason I brought this up was because everyone who bought one also got an infinite object with it. And so it's been like our most popular item in terms of infinite objects because there was only 8 for sale, and he sold out in like 2 minutes. Of course, like $16,000 or something like that, and they all bought their infinite objects to go with it, which I think is just awesome. So they're going to get this looping in their house. And
Wait,
so
what is
yeah,
the video about here? Is this about the Mavericks? Is that what it is?
yeah,
Oh,
it's a
it
motivational.
is.
Yeah, it's a motivational video.
Oh
The
man,
underdog.
that's cool. That's
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. Man, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, we're just in such the early days of this still. The thing is at this point, I don't feel like the user experience, you're not, especially with this, you're not going through the early days of a user experience. It's just that we all know something is awesome, and a lot of the world has yet to discover it. I haven't, once you start to get into this world, you just realize there's so much there. There's so much creativity. If you like art, if you've ever been to a museum and you enjoy just walking through and seeing art, I mean, this is that much more accessible, that much more creativity that's flourishing.
Right, it is. And I mean, pretty much every day I do exactly this. I go through and I browse the marketplace. And I'm just shocked at some of the amazing pieces, some of like the growth that we have. Oh, look, DeFi Dawn. This is perfect for you, right? DeFi Dawn.
There we
That's a
go.
DeFi
Yeah.
ad. uh,
Zach, I saw different categories. Like what qualifies as it was like underpriced? It was on the homepage there. Is it just,
yeah.
do you just set it at the lower end of the spectrum in terms of pricing there? Or?
No, this is all user votes. So we have, yeah, we have a really cool system because like when you go on OpenSea, you go on Rarible. One of the problems is like especially on Rarible, all you have is to scroll, right? And that's about it. OpenSea, they got a little bit better searching, but there's really no discovery. So we built this system, which is kind of like hot or not, where you see the stuff's hidden and then you get a vote on it. And so you can say, I like it. You can see the other results.
Wow.
And you can just move on. And, maybe if you don't like it, you don't have to do thumbs down. You can just skip it. But you get to see, yeah. And this is a good way for you to kind of just browse around. Wonder what's going on here. Why is this such a small image? That's weird. But you get to browse around and explore. And if you find something you like, I can just go and I can buy it directly, right? And so we released this like, I think 2 weeks ago, maybe. And it's been awesome because it has this, you can encourage your followers because one of the problems is, getting your artwork out there in NFTs is there's just so many that it's hard for you to stand out from the crowd. And this is what we try to focus on is to help sellers stand out from the crowd. And so, by encouraging your sellers or your fans, followers, or collectors to go on and say, I think this is beautiful, if you get enough people, it'll show up on the homepage, right? And so it's giving you free publicity on the homepage. And it's really powerful being on the homepage, actually, because we get so much traffic. If you look at like an ad I ran, I don't think I haven't ran an ad in let's see, what was the last 2/19, so about 5 days ago. This ran for less than a few days. It's my end date was the 25th, but I got 12,000 impressions within like a few days on my NFT, right? And so that's huge. Being able to say like I got 12,000, views essentially on my artwork that are potential buyers. And I spent $40, but this piece I'm selling it for like $200, $300, $400. And so it makes a lot of sense for me to promote this. And when I do that, I only have 98 cents, so I can't really promote much here. But like I'm selling this for $64, so maybe I'll promote this at. This should work maybe. Let's see if I can do it with this low amount. But when I promote this, I can't. It's too low. Damn. Yeah, I don't have enough money. I'd have to submit a transaction. It'd take too long. But anyways, it'll show up on the browse page. It'll be the first item to show up on your promoted listing, and then on the homepage as well. And so that's what we built Mintable to focus on this aspect, is we want you, the creator, to be able to stand out. We don't want you to be on page 3,000, right? And so like, oh, look at this. This is cool. And so being able to get your artwork out there is the key thing. I'm sidetracked by looking at this piece.
No, cool. It's great. I mean, it's you love what you actually work on. It's part of the reason like the product is so great. Like it's not even, you know, I know I don't consider Zapper really work. It is something that thankfully pays me what I need to live, but I would be working on it anyways. Everyone on the team right now is like, maybe we should just not pay him then. He just said he would work for free. Zach, one thing I noticed here was I wanted to talk about like, so we were talking about voting there and like, you know, basically submitting like feedback on pieces of art, but is there an actual DAO? Like, I mean, this is still, is this controlled ultimately by just the core team of Mintable, or I didn't realize this, like, is this all tokenized at this point? Like, I mean, like, in other words, is this run by a DAO?
Yeah, kind of. So I wanted to make a DAO for the the community to be able to have a say in what Mintable does. We wanted to give back to the community as well, and so you can see here on the wallet that I'm using, I have no mints. But the way it works is, anytime you use our platform, when you buy an NFT or sell an NFT, you're going to get mints, which is a voting NFT. So we don't want to do an ERC20 because we don't need one. And there's problems with that. Like, we don't want people to get burned on it. We don't want people to lose money or think of it as a speculative investment that then they're not taking part in governance. So I looked at Compound's DAO, I looked at Uniswap's DAO, and I said, you know what, I'm going to make my own DAO based off of those that runs off of NFTs. So I took those two DAOs, I modified them to run off of NFTs, and we made the first ever NFT DAO. And so it's every governance that takes part is via your NFT. So you have like a little membership card, essentially. It's got your votes on it. It's your governance NFT. And you earn those votes when you use the platform. So if I buy a CryptoKitty for 1 ETH, maybe I'm going to get 1,000 votes or 10,000 votes or whatever, right? And when I buy my actual NFT, when I buy the CryptoKitty, I'm going to get 2 NFTs in my wallet immediately in the same transaction. And so I'll get my CryptoKitty that I purchased, I'll get my mint token, my governance NFT, and then I can do something with that, right? And so the first proposal that we actually had on the DAO was to share the fees that Mintable makes from transactions to the people that have votes. So this proposal passed, and we've enacted it, and it's live. I don't have any votes, but if I did, it would show right here the total share of revenue, and I'd be able to claim that. And so I can exchange my governance votes for the revenue. I can kind of cash out if I wanted to. I can say, you know what, I've got half of all the votes, and there's $1 million in here. I'm going to cash out. I'm going to get 500,000. Here's my votes, right? And if you look at the volume that OpenSea has been doing, like this month, they've done like $10 million in volume. We have a 2.5% fee, so same as them, and that would come out to $250,000. I think, yeah, $250,000 revenue a month that you would, because you have votes, have access to, which is really cool, I think. And then you have say in governance. So maybe you want us to change our logo, maybe you want us to reduce the fees or increase the fees or add DeFi or do whatever. You can make a proposal, right? And I can submit that proposal. I don't have any mints, so I can't. But if I did, I'd be able to submit a proposal, and people can vote on it. And so I think that's really cool. We're not trying to be a DeFi project. We're not. There's other projects like, for example, Rarible. They're DeFi, but they don't actually have a DAO. Like, there's no smart contract that they have that's a DAO. They don't have any smart contract at all for governance. So it's like. Yeah, I don't know what. I
think this is one of the things I've really enjoyed about everyone that's building with NFTs. So DeFi has especially focused on like the narrative and urgency to truly be decentralized. But with NFT applications, the NFTs themselves, being able to own that and control that, like that's powerful. I think the idea of whether the platforms ultimately should be, again, owned and run by a community through a DAO, that's stuff that, like, I don't know, like we'll see how the dust settles in the coming years. So it's kind of a nice mental breather for me. Like, I love the fact there's just a little more pragmatism about, like, we just want to make really cool shit and allow people to, or allow creators to be able to create NFTs and sell them, and allow folks to collect and trade them. So yeah, it's if anyone gets tired of the talk of all the DAOs and DeFi, I would strongly encourage you to look into NFTs. It's a breath of air.
It is. Although this is the closest part to DeFi that we have here, is this buying votes. It uses a bonding curve. And so I guess that's the closest we get to DeFi. Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's nothing compared to like some of these advanced crazy DeFi projects, but this is how we provide kind of the value to our users that have the votes or that earn them. If I put in like 50 ETH here, I get like, oh wow, 9,000 votes because the price right here. But yeah, our DAO is it's really just for sharing, giving back to the creators that are using our platform and having them have a say in what Mintable focuses on. Obviously, they're not gonna be able to say shut down your business, right? Or file for bankruptcy or some crazy stuff like that. They're not gonna have control over that. It's purely for the smart contracts, the governance of the whole platform.
Yeah, it's a way to listen to your community without living in lots of comments and Discord. Discord is still powerful. We all love it and use it, but this kind of helps to sift through the noise and let people actually vote, what their intentions are here. So to summarize then, I can mint, I can buy, sell NFTs. Those are the ways that I could potentially earn mints.
Yeah, right. So you earn it from buying and selling. So if you're a seller, if you never buy an NFT, you'll still earn mints. And so like Mark Cuban, for example, he sold like $16,000 or whatever. So he's earned, whatever $16,000 is worth of mints. So
good thing.
He's actually, he's still.
Yeah. Oh no, I said good thing. I'm not sure if Mark could, afford those mints. You gotta earn it the hard way. That's really cool. One thing we didn't actually cover here, we've covered a lot, but is it possible to mint an NFT live? Like, I don't know if you would have something that you'd be prepared to actually mint, but even if we just kind of walk through the steps, this would be great.
Yeah, so I mean, minting is like super easy, right? We actually have an easy and advanced mode. So if you're a project and you want to do something advanced, you've got it all right here. But for most people, they're just gonna do it the easy way, which is what I've got right here on this page. So Mintable.app gasless. This is where you can make an item for free. We'll go to advanced just because I know what I'm doing, and we'll make a collectible item, right? I don't want to batch mint any tokens. I just want to make one. If I wanted to make, say 50, I could do that, but I don't want to do that. So we're just going to stick to just doing one at a time right now. And, let's find, I got to find the artwork first. I've got a ton of downloads in here, but I don't know.
Hey, Zach, for someone, while you're doing that, for someone who's new, when you say batch multiple tokens, that's like, hey, I'm going to create a piece of art and I want to create 10 copies of it. That's what that refers to, right?
Right, like 10 editions, or maybe you just want to make 10 things in one moment. Like you don't want to have to fill out the form, back to back to back. So you can actually do completely different things 10 times over if you wanted to. But
very cool.
That's something that is unique to Mintable. You won't find batch minting on other platforms, and you won't be able to batch mint like actual. So we have, you can do it gasless, or you can do it with a real transaction. And if you do it with the transaction, we have the highest amount that you can batch mint anywhere, which is 2,000. So you can make 2,000 NFTs in a single transaction, and those NFTs can be used for your community or whatnot, which is really powerful. And so for this, I think I'll call it, my art, I guess, or my artwork. There we go. And what we're doing is I'll go through each step. So token name is the actual name of the blockchain. Listing title is what people see, right? Like Nike shoes, size 11 or whatever, right? Subtitle is like, actually I'll fill this out so it's not a copy and paste. Really cool artwork that's collectible. Tags is art, painting, generative, generative. Let's see, psychedelic. I don't know. I'm misspelling that one as well. But so that's for this piece right here. And so maybe I want to fix that. So psychedelic.
Yeah, if someone sees you misspell that, they're not going to use this platform. They're like, "What kind of idiot can't spell that?" I'm not going to use Mintable.
I mean, unfortunately, I'm a developer. I don't spend all my time with psychedelic hippies and doing mushrooms and stuff like that. So I'm not. It's not my most common
this is great.
to use. Really cool artwork by Zach, right? And one of the things that's really unique to us is, so first, I skipped over this, but you have a private file that you can attach to your NFT. And so the very most common thing that we hear about NFTs is, oh, I just saved it. Thanks, I just saved myself $10,000. I right-clicked and saved it, right? We address that with private files. So a way to kind of explain this is, if I was making music, this would be this right here, this image would be my cover image for my album or whatever. Yep. And this would be the actual song, because you don't want the song public, because you don't want people to download the song. You want people to buy the NFT and then they could get the song right from inside the NFT. And so that's what this is. So for artwork, it should be the high resolution version, and this should be, your preview image should be your low resolution version. Right, and you won't find this on other marketplaces or other platforms as well. And this is a huge benefit to Mintable, is that you're able to do so much more with your NFT because we have a private file that you can attach. You can attach any file, whether like literally any file on your computer. We don't limit it to images or videos or whatnot. Any file. You have a 2 GB limit, and it's guaranteed safe. We use some state-of-the-art virus scanning software so that when you buy an NFT, you don't have to worry about, is this got a virus on it? Am I going to lose my crypto? Right? But if you use Rarible and you go to a random link on an NFT, because they don't have a private file, they just give you a link to go visit. That's a huge red flag. Like, I would never visit a random link from someone who knows that I have crypto, right? You should never do that. And I'm very careful about stuff like that. So when I built this, that's my first thought, is I'm like, I'm not going to download some random file from some image that I purchased. So we license this military grade software that scans for viruses, and it doesn't see what you upload. So I say military grade because it's used for classified material in the military. It's software that I used when I was in the military. So they can't see what's in the file, obviously, because it's classified, but they have to be able to check it for viruses and malware and spyware. Wow. So we use that. We license it. It's really expensive. And the second thing that we have is you can add any image that you want here, any GIF, video, whatever. That's something you won't be able to do on like OpenSea. When you list a CryptoKitty for sale on OpenSea, that's it. That's all you get. You get the cat, the picture of the cat. But here, I can take my CryptoKitty, do some stuff with it, or put some text over it that said it was owned by Vitalik, or this is a really rare CryptoKitty, right? So that when you're browsing, you see not just the same cat 50,000 times, but you see my cat now has text that says, hey, you should buy this, or like, hey, look at this NFT. This is important. So you can stand out from other sellers effectively. And then if you want to take let's see, I think I have a YouTube video that I was just watching. So let's get that YouTube video. Maybe I have a video of me making my artwork, right? This is the Bankless episode from yesterday.
Yeah.
But that is now in my listing, right? And so I'm also going to throw a link to Mintable just to show off some cool stuff. Make that italic, throw in a link. And so I can do all these cool features for my listing on why you should buy this and stuff, which you won't be able to do on other places. And so this is, again, for the seller to be able to stand out so that when you go here, you have all the tools that you have on Amazon, that you have on Etsy, that you have on eBay to be able to convey why this product should be purchased. And that increases the amount of sales that you're going to do on Mintable, which increases the money in your pocket, which increases people using our platform, right? So we built this to encourage buyers to buy NFTs based off the sellers having the ability to sell and market their products. Whereas on OpenSea, you don't get that. Rarible, you don't get that. All the other NFT platforms, you don't get a way to stand out. So you basically just have to spam your links to as many people as possible.
Wow.
And we wanted to fix that. We also have copyright, so you can transfer your copyright if someone buys it, it's on the blockchain. It's hard I feel like I'm just going on and on because we have so many things that.
No. This was so helpful. No. I've learned so much today. I definitely didn't realize all these features were available. The transfer copyright when purchased. Can you talk about that a sec? Like, what does that entail? And I guess like, how would that ultimately protect a creator?
Yeah, so it's included in the metadata that's on the blockchain, right? So what it means is that technically we encourage, that if you're actually going to do copyright transferring and you're going to select it, to explain what limits of the copyright are actually included here. Is it only commercial? Is it a free for all? You can do whatever you want with it. And so right now, we encourage them to do that. Later, we're going to have a whole range of different levels of copyright that you want to include so that you can be very specific about it so that the buyer knows. But it's on the blockchain. And so if you buy my NFT, I give you the copyright, and then you use it on your website, and someone tries to sue you, or I try to sue you for copyright infringement or whatever, you have verifiable proof on the blockchain. Like, hey, no, I bought this. Copyright was transferred to me 2 years ago, right? Like, I have the rights to use this. And that uses the blockchain, right? And so that's huge.
Really cool.
Yeah. And I'm just going to go ahead and list this. So this is gasless. So it means that I don't have to pay a transaction. I'm going to make this on mainnet, on Ethereum. There's no layer 2. There's nothing going on. All I have to do is sign a message.
I love it.
So I'm going to sign this message right here.
When you do that, just signing, you're like, no gas. Like, beautiful.
Right. And it's done. And now I actually don't even want to go through this link because I want to show you us finding it just by the browse page. I don't want to like click on it. I want to show it on the browse page. It should be, once this loads, come on, my art right here, right? And so I can click on this, and I wanted to show off this the most though. Oh yeah, sure. Let me just play this YouTube video explaining everything that's going on. Right.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah, I think this is a really, different way, a different approach of doing NFT marketplaces. That this is why we've had so much growth, is because I think it makes more sense.
Yeah.
We do the mom test. So my mom used Mintable. We try to make it like Amazon. So my mom uses Amazon. My mom can use Mintable.
I haven't listed, so I've never listed anything on Mintable, and I had no idea all the features available there. I mean, really, like the most extensive features you normally see are: do you want to do a fixed bid auction, or do you want to do like a regular auction, the auction with like buy now? But there's just a lot there, like you pointed out, that you can use to really like make your listing stand out. And I really love actually the social features of like voting. That is really interesting to me. That is something that, like, knowing that like users are voting for what is underpriced, like that's cool to me, because it allows someone to like express that they think something is cool and that others should consider buying it. And that's hard. There's just so many NFTs out there. It's hard to gauge. Like, I think it's one of the things for those that are new to NFTs, you can quickly get overwhelmed. But if you can bask in that being overwhelmed, you'll definitely find a home here.
Yeah, I think we've only touched on the surface of the different features that we have. Like we have direct messaging. So if you want to message here's my NFT that I just minted, right? So this is
Cool.
on this is on mainnet. Here's all the data for it. I can transfer it directly to you. I can do with it whatever I want, and I can actually download it. So I'll show you the download, and this is cool too. So in order to download that file, I have to sign my message verifying that I'm actually the current owner. It does some blockchain authentication with that, and then you don't save it; it just popped up in a new window.
Cool.
But the image popped up in a new window, and I now can save the full resolution image. But there's a ton of the profile is really in depth in terms of all the tools that we offer. But one thing that is important is on other marketplaces, Rarible, OpenSea, you can't message anyone, and I can't ask them about different things. But we can here. So on Mintable, I can say, hey, tell me about your NFT, and they're going to get this. And you can see the conversations I've been having with different people on the platform. I can message people, right? I can, message myself. Why do I want to message myself? So
I always wondered, how to get a hold of folks. Like, I'm fortunate with, I think with like enough Twitter followers, I'm like confident that I could like try to tag someone and probably get their attention eventually. But like that's not the way it should work. You should be able to like reach out to folks, because like what if you do want to ask someone about like, hey, do you have any pieces you haven't listed, that I could potentially buy or look at? Like there's that sort of interest. You shouldn't have to have like a certain amount of money to commission an artist, because there's a lot of new and undiscovered artists out there that would probably love to be able to sell to folks like that. So that's really cool messaging. I haven't seen that before anywhere else.
It is, yeah, it's unique. There's no other platform that has it, and I don't really know why. I just like, to me, I thought it was going to be really hard when I made it, and it took me like a day, and I'm really proud of it because I think it looks good. But I'm like, it took me a day. Why is not every other platform offer this? It's so easy.
It's a really cool feature there.
It's needed. It really is needed. There's something else too that I want to touch on that no other platform has: reviews. I don't have any reviews, but other people have reviews.
Yeah.
So if we go to I think Mark Cuban has some reviews. If we go to Mark Cuban's profile and we look at his reviews, this lets you know, because it's blockchain, I was the one that reviewed him.
Awesome.
You can see a review, and you can see the information about that person when you're buying something, so that hey, maybe this guy's a scammer, right? Maybe this is copyright material, or maybe he shouldn't be selling NFTs. Maybe I shouldn't buy this. Yeah, what's crazy is I've refreshed every time I go back here. There's new NFTs that have been minted. Like this SpongeBob Elon is new. This thing is new. So we have like 100 people right now that are minting NFTs on the platform.
Yeah, it's a sign of the times. I mean, we're like the idea of I think a lot of people just don't realize like how many more are coming into the space. I've had more friends reach out to me recently about NFTs than anything else. A bunch of them work in different types of media related jobs, and I was surprised because some of the stories in DeFi that I've been trying to tell them sort of flew over their heads. But then they looked into NFTs. I think a bunch of folks heard Gary Vaynerchuk talk about it, and now they're actually coming full circle back to yield farming. They're like, okay, now I get the NFTs thing, but so what is the DeFi stuff then? Tell me like how that works, and that's why like Andrew Steinwald has talked a lot about the fact that he's been saying that NFTs are really the gateway to the mainstream. That it's so simple and easy to benefit from NFTs, and I believed him like when I first started hearing him talk about this. I mean, I only got to know him here in the last year, or I'd interviewed him at least, and it's crazy how quickly the momentum has built around NFTs. So this is only the start.
It's something that I tell it to investors. I tell it to people when I try to convince them. I'm not going to get a random person to understand 1,000% APY on a random, LP token that I've gotten off of a decentralized, exchange with unicorns on it. They're just not going to get that. They're not going to wrap their head around that. It's too far of a stretch. But you tell them, hey, there's a baseball card that's all digital and it's going for $1 million. They're like, what? That's easy to understand, right? That's a really easy concept that we're all familiar with. Every time you go to like a gas station, there's little, collectible cards that you can buy. Yeah. Everyone's familiar with that. And that's why I'm so bullish on NFTs, is because it is the first step of adoption where, like I said, my mom is going to use Mintable. She's going to be earning crypto because she doesn't have to spend any to get started. Now, a year later, after she's earned 20, 30, 40, 50 Ether, then she's going to start looking into these other things, because now she's got all this money that she's earned, and she's an expert on NFTs at that point. So maybe she should dabble into Uniswap. Maybe she should look at yield farming, right? And I think that is effectively how adoption is going to happen for just the next 5 years. It's going to start with very simple consumer products like this, like Mintable, and then that's their start in the rabbit hole, right? That's when they fall down the rabbit hole. 6 months down the road, they're going to be so much further into the crypto space because of Mintable, because of platforms like us.
Yeah, it's really cool, that concept of allowing someone to earn crypto, because now they're living in this natively digital finance world, and so once you've earned that, if let's say your mom has earned some Ether, eventually, there's opportunity. Like, she could be lending that Ether, she could be staking it through there's options on Zapper through things like Curve and Lido. So it's a really cool sort of like sneaky on-ramp to getting people into crypto, namely Ethereum and everything that's built on Ethereum. So, Zach, anything else that we haven't covered today that you wanted folks to learn about? Like, I feel like we really gave like the full-blown tutorial of how you can use Mintable. Again, like going back to, if you're a creator, there's nothing to stop you from making an NFT for free, and which has really been a roadblock that's been talked about lately. So, just like, don't wait, go try this. There's nothing to stop you from doing it, as long as you're brave enough to just click a few buttons and ask some questions.
Yeah, I think we did cover a lot, but I think the one thing that we didn't cover is why people would buy these, and I think it's the high IQ play for you to buy NFTs, right? It's easy to sell them and to make them, but it's buying them that is where you're going to make a lot of money. I think Mintable has got the cheapest NFTs I've ever seen. Like I said, I bought that one that was like $1. When we were on here, because they're so cheap, and you just won't find them this cheap on other places, because there's those gas costs for the people to make them. But what that means is that, like, look at this, is like awesome. There's like 50 of them, right? You buy them cheap, you sell them high, right? And that is the high IQ play. That's where you're going to make a lot of money. You're trading digital files at this point, because like this crypto mixtape is a song. It's an MP3 that I'm downloading, but I'm able to trade that. I think that's huge. I think this is going to be big for adoption. And I think we've seen a lot of new people coming into this space just because of gas is minting. And I think it's just going to get bigger this year. And so if you haven't played with NFTs, if you're a creator of if you have a YouTube video, YouTube channel, if you make videos, music, or graphic designer or anything like that, go make an NFT, list it for sale, tweet about it, and who knows, maybe you'll wake up with some Ether in your wallet, right? There's no reason not to. And then once you get down that rabbit hole, you can start buying and building up your portfolio of NFTs to start selling to other people. And I think it's a great start for almost anyone to get into crypto this way.
Absolutely. Reminder to everyone too, this is not financial advice and there is no guarantee that you will make money.
Not at all. Not at all. No financial
But Zach
advice.
points out, yeah, I think like, again, key takeaway here is there's a lot of opportunity here, and you should do your own research and you should go try Mintable, learn about it. It's fun. Like, honestly, I used to just go to, to like a super rare and just look through the pieces of art. A lot of them, I will say, yeah, Mintable has much more affordable pieces, but just looking through them is fun. So, the fact that the costs are so much lower there, at least on the entry point of getting an NFT, it's cool. It makes NFTs that much more accessible to new folks in the space. So, well, reminder to everyone then, I've said it a million times, check out Mintable at mintable.app. You should follow at Mintable_app on Twitter. That's where they make lots of announcements. And Zach, just thanks so much for your time, man. This was great. I learned a lot. Holy cow, there's so much going on Mintable, especially from the listing side. So it looks like one of the things, if folks want to pair different lessons together here, is we've had ethblock.art on, and so that's generative art. I think that's the appropriate name for it, generative art. So you can take templates, and then those templates allow you to create different pieces of art. So you can mint that art, and then you could potentially then list it here on Mintable. But if you actually mint the NFT, that was the crucial sort of like savings here, is if you mint it through Mintable, you're saving on that gas, and right. Gas is expensive right now. Ether fees are high.
You can't sell any NFT on Mintable. So it's just like OpenSea. Any 721 you can sell. So art blocks, we actually have a few for sale on Mintable.
That's cool.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
They're really cool. Yeah. It definitely, like, my brain exploded when I like started playing with it, because I was like, I'm not someone who would create a piece of art. I admire art and enjoy it, but I wouldn't create it normally. But then as I was playing with it, I was like, hey, I'm an artist. This is cool. Yeah. So yeah.
We never got outside of the art discussion, but you're a creator, right? Like, that, right? You're a creator. You're creating this show right now. Why not the 15 minutes we had on before we started? We should have recorded that and made that an NFT that you can sold, as extra credits or extra, footage, essentially.
That is the Galaxy brain move. I tend to focus a lot on art and trading cards and just digital collectibles, but all forms of content. I mean, what Mark Cuban listed there, that was a video. So that, you can really start to think beyond the obvious ways to mint an NFT and go different routes with your content. So yeah, no, you make a great point, Zach. I definitely should consider like what we could do there. Actually, one thing I've thought of before is, if you did, let's say if I'm experimenting with that, I also could, like, while I'm experimenting, think to donate that to like a charity. That's like a really cool way to get attention on something and say, hey, like, we're going to make this and I'm going to donate the funds to charity. Of course, don't trust that someone will always donate it. I guess if I were to do that, hopefully I bring the credibility that you would trust me, but I don't trust everyone else, because that would be an opportunity for someone to scam folks. So, but anyways, yeah, it's really cool. We should talk more about that. I would be interested in like what other like suggestions you might have for minting that sort of NFT.
Yeah, I think there's a ton of different things, and it's just up to creativity. Whatever your creative brain can think about, then you can pretty much make it as an NFT.
Absolutely. Well, this will probably be the first of many times we have you on, and just thanks so much. And dude, congrats on all your guys' success. I know it's been a crazy time for anyone building with NFTs, but you guys are surging in terms of new users and NFTs being minted. So you definitely convinced me I need to be using this more today.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. And everyone, thanks for joining. Reminder, you can subscribe at tv.zapper.fi. There's now, this is the 80th episode. So we have 80 episodes archived. You can also track your NFTs now on Zapper. Jeez, I failed to even show this. So if you mint your NFT on Mintable, you can look forward to eventually tracking this on Zapper. Let me just pull up my screen. I do need to look into this, because of the way that you batch these with smart contracts. We may need to do some work to make sure that this is all supported. Have you tried this, Zach? Have you gone on zapper.fi to see if your NFTs from Mintable are showing up yet?
Yeah, so you use OpenSea's API to be able to pull NFTs.
Yes.
And so effectively, any NFTs made on Mintable will show up on OpenSea. If it's gasless, it just doesn't show up automatically. So it's still on mainnet, and OpenSea will look for a transfer event. But since it's gasless, there's no transfer that occurs. It's just automatically in your wallet. It doesn't get transferred to you. And so in order for it to appear on Zapper or on OpenSea, you just have to transfer it to yourself, which is actually the cheapest transfer you can do because you're not actually moving it. If you were to go to your profile Mintable, you click transfer, put in your own address, and you submit the transaction, and then it appears instantly on OpenSea, on Zapper, and we've had a ton of NFTs made, and we've also had a lot of them that have been they just transferred it to themselves, and then they went and listed on Rarible and OpenSea at the same time because it's cheaper to transfer it to yourself and then sell it on Rarible or OpenSea than it is to mint it on Rarible or OpenSea. So it's kind of like a way to save some money.
Very cool. Well, yeah, we'll figure this out if there's a way for us to make it easier, just for folks to be able to track that. The goal is basically that everyone can see their NFTs next to their total DeFi portfolio on Zapper. So it's something we just released yesterday. If folks want to check it out, again, just connect your wallet and go to zapper.fi. Zach, I'm going to just hit the outro video. So we'll be in a green room in 2 minutes. But yeah, everyone, thanks for tuning in again. And that'll be it for the week. We'll be back Monday for DeFi class. Not sure what the lesson will be yet, but if you have any ideas, feel free to tweet at us at zapper_fi. So yeah, thanks so much. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.